What's up, everyone? I'm Adam McInnis, hit songwriter and producer, and today I'm going to break down Seal's song, Kiss from a Rose. And the reason why I'm doing this song is because someone posted in the comments the other day saying, Adam, why don't you share some of the songs that you were inspired by? And I feel like there's a lot of songs other than K-pop, because we focus on K-pop a lot on this channel, but I want to start to expand this to different kinds of music, and I want everyone else to experience hearing with golden ears across all genres, especially songs that maybe were really, really popular or ones that have a cult-like following and have lasted throughout the years. We're still going to be doing tons of K-pop, but I wanted to showcase a song that I grew up listening to, or should I say, in the years where I was learning how to understand music better, I would listen to this song. Now, here's the thing. My ears 10 years ago or 15 years ago were nowhere near as good as they are today. So this is the first time I've actually listened to this song in I don't know how long. It's years since I've even listened to Seal's song, Kiss from a Rose. So today we're going to listen to it, break it down, and see if I can uncover some things that maybe I didn't hear years ago. And I'm sure it's going to happen. So let's get started. Oh, it's the Batman. There's so much already going on.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become alive and the light that you shine can't be seen?
Okay, so before we go into the chorus, let's just break down now with our new golden ears some of the things that we've been saying on this channel where it comes to how are you grabbing attention in the first 8 seconds, the melodic structures, powers of 3, and what's happening in the vocal production and the musical production. Now, this song has been around for a while. It's been around since 1994. So we're going to see if those same formulas that I've been teaching you today on this channel were still used back then. Okay, so there's a lot of information happening in just the first 8 seconds. So let's break down what I'm hearing. One, they have it split, meaning if you have headphones on the right side, they have the vocals. On the left side, they have a piano, which is very unique for recording because usually things are up the middle. But let's look at what's happening on both of them, right? So on the left side is a piano. On the right side is a vocal going, and there's another one going, bop, 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 bop. And that higher one is a flute, kind of doing the same thing. Then after they establish that hook melody, this is an anchor, which is most likely going to come in later on in the song. So that's why they're foreshadowing it right in the beginning. You're also going to hear this kind of like plinky guitar. It's not a guitar, I forget the name of the instrument, but it starts to go ding, 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 ding. So listen back now that you understand. Piano's on the left, vocals are on the right, the flute's on the right as well. And then after they establish the first melody, you'll hear this kind of guitar thing come in.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill.
Okay, so let's break down the production. Right when the verse comes in, you hear the bass and now the drums. So all of a sudden it goes from this intro where there's several instruments. We're not really sure how they're pieced together. And then whoop, there used to be. So it comes right in, right? So watch right here.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became.
So it's really cool about how they're stacking this, and this is the breaking down the structure of the melody. So it goes da 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 da. You became da 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 and love me. So it keeps going there you love. It's going up actually as steps. And if you were to break this down harmonically, you go, oh, that's what's happening, and you can kind of hear it and see it. So that's really interesting what's happening with here. Let's keep going and see what else happens.
The light on the dark side of me. Love
Now that's such an interesting line. And love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill. Such an interesting line. I always like to hear the way people think when they're writing lyrics, because sometimes people are writing lyrics, they're going, I don't know if this will fit. Does this make sense? So someone in the room, if Seal or maybe someone who's collaborating with, I'm not sure who the writers are on this song, but someone said, love is like the drug that's the high, not the pill that you take for it, but the actual high. And everyone was like, ooh, let's keep that one. So it's really cool just to listen to what was selected as the final lyrics.
But did you know that when it snows,
and that melody right there, that little section, is probably one of the hookiest things I've heard in a long time. That so hooky in that little space.
But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become alive and the light that you shine can't be seen?
So the same exact things that we talk about in all these other songs, building tension, creating tension release, creating adrenaline, creating these emotional pivotal points, they're doing right here as well. So they're hitting us with hooks, they're hitting us with sonic information, and they're going into this now bigger section that says, here's where it builds all up to. Here's the climactic moment. And then he goes to that big vocal part. So you hear the drums go doom, 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 right? And then we're in this big, baby,
can't be seen. Baby, I can bring you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
All right, cool. We're going to break down just the vocal production happening here because there's just some interesting things happening. So it sounds like what they're doing is at first allowing the vocal to be a lead, pretty much taking command. It's like, baby, if I compared you to a... And then you'll hear backgrounds go, kiss from a rose on the grave. The backgrounds join in the back half of some of these words. So listen to how you'll feel it go from a single vocal to then a group vocal.
Baby, I can bring you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your
Group there.
rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
And then back to the intro. And here, this is very, very, very subliminal, but I want you to listen to how he's saying the ba-da-da. He almost sounds like he has a lisp, like a purposeful lisp. Listen to the ba-da-da-da-da-da. He's not saying ba-da-da-da-da. He's going ba-ya-ya-la-la-la. It's very kind of broken down. Listen to this. Ba-ya-ya. You hear that? It's like ba-ya-ya-la-la-la, which is an interesting choice because it means someone thought of that. They said, don't sing it with any consonants. I want you to sing it as if you can't enunciate all the way. Listen to it one more time. Also, a little sneaky, what they're doing is listen to the bass line. The bass line is also doing the melody, or pretty much close to it. Check it out.
There is so much a man can tell you, so much.
Now when he goes there, listen how they added sonic information. You'll hear a there, and then it even goes there, oh, something in the background. Watch.
There is so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You remain.
Even on the you, there's a you that just keeps holding out. So they did it both on the there and the you, creating almost like an internal hook from the backgrounds.
Much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain.
Ooh, listen to that background how it goes. My power, my pleasure, my pain. That's the lead. But there's a background harmony going. My power, my pleasure, my pain. So they're actually going split. Check that out.
You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby.
then they hit you with that baby, and it's stacked. So it goes from this split harmony to then a stacked vocal. That's genius. That's genius. Listen to this.
Measure my pain, baby. To me, you're like a grown addiction.
The strings come in.
Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become a light?
Harmonies, build tension.
That you shine can't be seen. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light
It's almost like they have French horn in the background. Listen to it. It's like. Listen.
Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Back to the melody we all know with the instruments. Transition, build tension.
Been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. And if I should kiss.
This is a very interesting part. If we're talking about a cappella sections, so we have one that's going, I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose. So they're doing that. It's stacked, but they're actually starting off with the same note. So it goes, I've been, check this out.
I've
Been. So there's a harmony right there.
I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose.
Now we have kissed by a rose and kissed by a rose. So we have that two harmony going on. Listen really intently.
I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. And if I should kiss by a rose on the grave.
And they add that other vocal melody comes out of nowhere. And if I should fall, starts to come through out of nowhere, but to add sonic information.
And if I should kiss by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose.
Tension. Release.
There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain.
Pause. See, that's interesting. A lot of in this song, a lot of tension and release. There's a lot of pauses, there's a lot of stops. It's very dramatic. With the vocal that Seal's doing is dramatic, with the harmonies, with the stacks, with all the musicality to it, the French horn and the strings. And if you really start looking at this song, it really is a piece of art. It's interesting to go back and listen to the song because I haven't heard it in so many years. But this is a piece of art because the lyrics are very poetic. You kind of know what it means, but you don't know what it means. It leaves you in this gray-blue state of feeling something very deep and very emotional. And because the music is constantly pulling you in those directions, you have no choice but to go along for the ride. And these melodies, the da-da-da-da-da-da, and all those cool flute now, they're so almost like historically nostalgic that it just pulls you in. Let's keep listening to see how it ends.
Like a grown addiction that I can't deny.
It's all the stacks coming in.
Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my...
Listen to this part right here when he says, but did you know? And then there's another one that says, no. But when it snows. So it goes, but did you know? No, when it snows. So he's putting these little pockets to fill in these rhythms that are very subliminal. Check it out.
Healthy, baby, but did you know that when it snows, my eyes become a large and the light
Harmonies.
that you shine can't be seen.
Build tension.
Baby, I can feel you to kiss.
And when you listen to the lower harmony, this is the stack that happens in the chorus. When he says, baby, listen for the I've been kissed by a rose. So when he says, baby, listen for the lower, I.
Baby, I can feel you to kiss from a rose on the grave.
just faded out. Back when people used to fade out songs. They don't really fade out songs that much anymore. I actually like the fade out. The fade out is basically saying this song is so good, this chorus could just keep on going. So we have to fade it out because you won't want to stop it. A lot of times in today's music industry, you stop the song on a beat and the last vocal kind of brings over. But I enjoyed the fade out because it shows how good the chorus has to be. All right. So I'm watching the video. A lot of this stuff, Batman, was all through my childhood. When you're talking about superheroes, Batman, I think, was probably my favorite because he was a real person and he didn't technically have anything superhero powers that he was born with, but he developed the strength of a superhero from his mind and his body and his focus. That's one of the reasons why I like Batman. But as far as this song, my professional opinion of listening back to the song since it's been so many years is that it still is a classic. It's very rare that songs in general last. So when I can go back to the song 1994, that's almost 30 years. And it still is something that I would go, if I heard that today at a demo critique, I'd go, who the is this? Like, who is this? I'd ask that question. And it's always important when you hear songs to first ask, who is this? And then who did this? Those are the first two questions that every executive asks when they hear something that's really great. So if this came to a demo critique tomorrow, I would say, who is this and who did this? And it still lasts the test of time. So anyway, this is one of the songs that I grew up listening to and that I really was inspired by, and listening back to it now with ears. There's so much more that I didn't break down because I was just trying to go through it as quick as possible. But there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of information that I could break down. If I ever see any of you in person at a songwriting retreat, I will break down in more depth some of these songs, because I'm being honest, when I'm giving you these breakdowns on YouTube, I'm trying to fit it within a certain allotted time period. I'll be honest. There's a lot more information I could be sharing, but I know not everyone is professional musicians or looking to be one. So I don't want to clutter your brains with too much, but there's a lot going on here that I'm not going to break down. But hopefully you enjoyed today's breakdown of Seal's song Kiss from a Rose from the Batman soundtrack. If you enjoy what you're listening to, and if you like join this channel and you want to support us, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, make sure everything is on so you can be notified of our next up and coming videos. Also, make sure that you check out our Patreon page. We have more content, longer content, more exclusive content over there, such as songwriting sessions with hit producers, hit songwriters for K-pop songs. You can actually watch in the room while we're creating these songs, and you can see the songs before they go to the record labels, before they get pitched to the artist. So check that out. And it's the only way we support our channel is through Patreon. We can't monetize our videos because they are from other people's music. So the only way we keep this channel going is if you support it. And that's why this channel is for you. Let us know on Patreon what songs you want to see broken down, and we will always make sure that we get them around to you. All right. That being said, I hope you have a great day. Be good to yourself, be good to others, and I'll see you soon.